What's up everyone? Today's video is going to be nice and short and hopefully nice and interesting for you all. I made another mistake. I fucked up again a little bit in my agency and I want to share the story with you. So let's just dive straight into that. Okay guys, so last time I shared a video on this channel about a mistake that I made within my business, within my agency. You guys seem to respond to that really well, and I want to do this again because I think it's really important to share, like, not just the good things, the bad things too, when I make mistakes, when you make mistakes, and that way we can all learn from those mistakes that we're making. So a few weeks ago, actually it was longer than a few weeks ago, just under a month ago, I landed a new client. I landed a new SaaS client running their paid ads, super excited about it. And the good thing about this story is, like, everything is going really well with them and everything is good with them right now. But I made a slight mistake and something that I had to fix that I think is important to share with you. So we landed this new client. I've been through my usual discovery process, sales process, everything went really well. First invoice was paid, contract signed, and then we get to the next step, right, which is onboarding the client. And I'm not going to make any excuses because my onboarding process has not been good at all recently and still needs a lot of work. But I was traveling, I was in San Diego, and I was trying to onboard the client whilst I was in San Diego and make sure everything went well for them, and it just didn't work out too well. So I have never had a very good client onboarding process. Like some of you have seen before, the automated video onboarding process that I used to try and use, and it just didn't work. And the reason it stopped working was because, unfortunately now for my clients, as they're becoming more and more advanced, it's not as simple as giving someone a template and them doing everything that's on those videos. Because the clients that we work with, SaaS companies, they all have different tool stacks, so they all have different tracking that we need to fix up and get sorted. They all have different tools that they use. Some use Intercom, some use Drift, some use like all these other tools, right? So there's different tools that we need to work out and integrate with. There's different tracking codes that we need for each client and all this kind of stuff. And in the past I had this video onboarding sequence which they just went through and then it was done. But that was because at that point we needed the same stuff from every single client. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I didn't have and still don't have a standardized onboarding process for all of my clients. So the way that I tried to onboard these guys was like back and forth via email, a couple of WhatsApp chats, and we ended up asking so many questions and sending so many emails back and forth that the onboarding was just very messy. Like, it was clear that I didn't know what I was doing too much with the onboarding, and then the client raised that with me. They said, hey, look, Dylan, we're really excited to work with you. We know that your agency is fairly young and fairly new, but it's clear to us that your onboarding isn't great and it could do with some work. And they actually offered to help me with improving my process, which is really good. That's when you know you're working with the right kind of clients. But that's not a good thing to hear as an agency owner. I don't want to find out my onboarding isn't good. So I think for all of you watching this, it's really important that, yes, I know we have to focus on landing the first client, doing all the outreach, doing all of the sales, getting them to pay the invoice, but then you have to think about delivering a good service. You might have a contractor that runs your ads for you, you might have a great team, but in order to keep a client for a long time, they need to be happy. And one of the ways you're going to do that is by standing out and making sure that their process when they join you is very smooth and it's very easy for them to understand. And I didn't have that. So right now, what am I doing to fix that? I'm working on this. Celia, my girlfriend, is helping me out with some back-end processes. We've hired someone who's going to be helping me build out my client onboarding, and I'm going to try and automate as much of it as I can to a point, right? So we have standard requests for all of our clients that can be automated, where I can send them. So access to their Google Ads account, access to Google Analytics, access to Facebook ads, access to any documents that we need, customer lists, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to put all that together in a request doc and automate the invoice process, the contract signing process, so that everything is done very quickly and very easily. I just type in the client name and press a button, and it will send them the contract, it will send them the invoice, it will send reminders and follow-ups, it will send the requests doc, it will have folders where everything goes. Like, that's what we're working on now, and that's what I encourage a lot of you to be working on, because I think a lot of you, I did this too, focus on landing the clients, the delivery, but not that middle point. And this is when they're going to have buyer's remorse the most, when they're going to be questioning their decision, and you need to make sure that they're happy. So the way that I've learned from this, actually the negative of this is, because the onboarding wasn't smooth and I wanted them to be happy, I've offered them an extra week of the service free of charge. And that's my way of like making it up to them, because it took us a week to onboard them when it should only take 2 or 3 days. So I lost out on a bit of revenue there. But I don't want you guys to repeat that mistake that I've made. So I want you to work on your onboarding processes. I'm working on mine. I'll let you know when it's done and maybe walk some of you through it and show you the onboarding process too. And that's it. That was my video to share with you guys today. If you enjoyed this one, do me a favor and hit the like button. Leave a comment down below of like one mistake you've made in your business recently, or one thing that you're struggling with that you need support on, because YouTube comments are probably the easiest place to get hold of me, because I see all of them and I'll get back to all of them quickly. If you look at my Instagram, I get a lot of DMs and a lot of Facebook messages, whereas YouTube comments, we only get like 4 or 5 a video. So if you need my attention, if you need your support, drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, or if you're new around here, and I will see you again very soon for another video.